Morning, Sergeant. I'll have you just come to the side of the witness chair. Do you have a cell phone, sir? Is it off? Very good. Just to the side. Have you raise your right hand? Sir, do you solemnly swear you're going to testify the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this matter now before this jury, as you would affirm or answer unto God?
I do.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. You testified before, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask you, the court reporter is going to take your responses, so make sure they're all verbal. Wait till a question is asked in full before you answer. And if you hear the word objection from anybody, just stop what you're saying, and then I'll instruct you on how to proceed. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I control the volume a little bit, but I like you to get comfortable. Move the microphone close to you. The whole thing moves, like pulls forward. And why don't you state and spell your name?
I'm Sergeant Nick Gorbolja, N-I-C-K, last name Gorbulja.
Thank you. You may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Sergeant.
Good morning.
Sergeant, where are you employed?
I'm employed with the City of North Olmsted Police Department,
How long have you been employed there?
about 7.5 years.
And prior to that, did you work anywhere else as a law enforcement officer?
No.
Right. So all the 7 years with North Olmsted Police?
Correct.
And could you briefly describe to the jury your basic training and education you needed to undergo in order to become a law officer?
I completed the OPATA certification to become a peace officer in the state of Ohio. Prior to that, I was also in college as well. Got my bachelor degree from Cleveland State University.
And what was your degree in?
Public safety management with a minor in criminal justice.
And when you went to North Olmsted and you were first employed there, what title did you hold?
Patrolman.
Okay. And for how many years did you hold that title?
About 5 years.
And after that 5 years, were you then promoted?
In 2023, in August of 2023, I was promoted to sergeant.
Okay. And in your capacity as a sergeant with North Olmsted, can you describe for us your basic duties and responsibilities?
I was assigned to the patrol division. Each platoon will have a lieutenant and sergeant. So I was assigned to the D platoon, where I oversaw my patrolman on my shift, along with overseeing the jail, dispatch, and I was responsible for all of that.
About how many people then are you responsible for?
On my shift alone, about 7, plus I have a lieutenant with me, and then we have corrections officers, and then dispatchers as well.
What hours do you keep? What are your shifts?
We work 12-hour shifts, so 7A to 7P, and 7P to obviously 7A.
Okay. And do you still work that schedule as you sit here today?
Yes.
Did you work last night?
I did not.
Okay. Sergeant, were you employed as a sergeant with North Olmsted Police Department on June 3rd, 2024?
Yes.
And if you recall that day, were you working on that particular day?
I was.
And if you recall, what shift were you working on that day?
I was assigned to D platoon from 7A to 7P on June 3rd.
Okay, so you are not on the road during that shift. You are at the station overseeing all those individuals we just talked about?
I am on the road, on station, just depends on the given day.
Okay. And are you the one that's kind of giving an assignment or figuring out what people should be doing during their shift?
If my lieutenant is not working, then yes.
So can you recall how that day started for you?
Just like any other day, we went through roll call, everything else, answering our calls, any kind of details until this call came out.
Okay. And can you tell us what was the nature of the call that you received on June 3rd, 2024 that you just referenced?
On June 3rd, I was on station when this call came out. We got a call of someone stabbing people in the Giant Eagle parking lot.
All right. And you were at the station when you received this call?
Correct.
And when you heard it was the Giant Eagle, did you learn which Giant Eagle location?
The police station is actually directly across the street from the Giant Eagle. It is our only Giant Eagle in the city of North Olmsted.
Okay. So you were the sergeant in charge during this shift. Is that accurate?
I was the sergeant assigned to the shift. There was a lieutenant also working that day.
All right. And when you received that call, was there a directive associated with the radio broadcast that you received?
At that point in time, for a call that came out like that, it was an all hands on deck kind of call where everyone responded, including mutual aid from other cities.
Okay. And do you recall about what time of day that call came through?
Midday sometime.
All right. So as a sergeant then, what is your first move once you receive that call and that information?
Immediately respond to the threat.
So you get in your cruiser?
Correct.
Are you alone when you respond to the scene?
Correct. Respond, get into my cruiser, respond.
By yourself?
Correct.
Okay. And what other, do you have any other information when you respond to this parking lot besides what you just described for us?
I believe prior to my arrival, we got information that the subject at that time, what she was wearing and what direction she was heading.
Okay, so based on learning that new information, where is your focus when you respond to this scene?
We received information that she was heading towards the direction of Dover Center. So at that point in time, I went directly from station to Dover Center to the driveway across the street from Geppetto's. At that point in time, I was met with other officers on scene to take the subject into custody.
All right, so your focus then, fair to say, is on locating and detaining the suspect versus going to the scene and looking for victims or other potential victims?
Correct.
Okay. And explain to us, what do you see, what do you encounter when you respond to the scene where those other officers were?
At this point in time, like I said, I responded with multiple officers already there, giving her verbal commands, with the knife being present, with what appeared to be blood on that knife.
All right, let me stop you there. Where did you see a knife?
At that point in time, the officer was giving her verbal commands. I believe she dropped the knife at that point in time.
All right, so you were on scene when the defendant dropped the knife?
Correct.
Did you see her with your own two eyes drop the knife?
I believe I was pulling up when she dropped it.
You believe what?
She dropped it when I was like pulling up into the driveway.
All right. And when you're talking about this female, does this female in fact match the description that was given over the radio broadcast?
That is correct.
Okay. And how long after observing the defendant drop the knife did you observe her on the ground?
Shortly after she dropped the knife, she obeyed verbal commands from the officers. At that point in time, she listened to put her hands behind her back. I was one of the officers that helped assist with handcuffing her with her hands behind her back.
Okay, let me stop you there. I do want to walk through that. So you were present to hear other officers give commands to the defendant?
Correct.
All right. And based on hearing those commands, what was your observation of the defendant after those commands were given?
She obeyed the commands, which means she was listening to what we said and complied.
At any point, did the defendant speak to anybody on scene while you were there?
Not while I was there.
Did you see her mouthing any words?
I did not see that.
Okay. Talk to us about the handcuffing. How did that piece of the process go?
With the knife that was dropped still within close proximity, he had her prone out, so laying on her stomach. Gave verbal commands to put her hands behind her back. Once we had enough officers to do so, we moved in to effect the arrest.
Now, you at this point are a law enforcement officer for 6 years, right? It would have been last June, thereabouts. And in your career, have you encountered individuals who were alleged to have committed a crime with a weapon?
Yes.
Okay? And when you come upon an individual that may be armed or had a weapon, is it protocol for you to have that individual lay on the ground?
Yes.
Okay, and why is that?
Officer safety being the number one reason. We are unsure what they may or may not have on their person. In order to effect arrest safely for the officers responding, we've given verbal commands to lay down, prone out, so we can safely effect that arrest.
Okay. And was that protocol followed in this instance?
Yes.
Okay. Once the defendant is detained and arrested, handcuffed on the ground as you described, what is the next step?
At that point in time when she was handcuffed, Detective Butcher and I put her into the immediate recovery position, had her set up, and we escorted her to my cruiser at that point in time, which would be 5228.
All right, and how do you determine which officer is going to convey the suspect to the station?
Given the circumstances that day, I took the defendant and put her into my vehicle so the other officers can respond to victims in the given area.
Very good. And when you are at the scene and dealing with the defendant, are you wearing a wearable camera system on your person?
I am.
Okay? And if I were to show you footage from that wearable camera system today in court, can you talk about it together?
Yes.
All right. Your Honor, I'm showing this witness what's been marked as Exhibit 207.
Thank you.
And Sergeant, I believe the first 30 seconds of the video, there will be no audio. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, I just played 6 seconds of this video so far. Is there any identifiable marker in this small clip?
I'm going to pause for a minute. Is the camera in your way? Yeah. Just slide back. Is that better? All right, back on the record. Your question again?
Sergeant, can you identify your cruiser and what's depicted on the screen right now?
That's a standard North Olmsted police cruiser that we use in day-to-day operations. And you can see the north in that given frozen image on the car door there.
Is this the car that you drove on June 3rd, 2024?
That is correct.
Okay. Resuming play at 6 seconds. Now, you are wearing this wearable camera system, correct?
Correct, yep.
So we're not going to see you on this video, right? What's happening here at the 29-second mark?
At this point in time, after the defendant was taken into custody, I transported her back to North Olmsted Police Department to...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
2 p.m., sorry.
You conveyed her back to North Olmsted Police Department and I cut you off?
That's correct. At that point in time, had her exit this vehicle, is what you're going to see right now, and I walked her into the side door into the secure facility.
Now, how long was that drive from Giant Eagle to North Olmsted, please?
Approximately 30 to 60 seconds.
Short drive.
Correct.
Although during that drive, was any conversation had between you and this defendant?
Not that I recall, no.
Any notable behaviors that you remember on behalf of the defendant during that short drive?
No.
And how is she secured in the back of your cruiser?
So she's currently handcuffed with her hands behind her back, and she was placed in that cruiser for that short distance to the North Olmsted Police Department.
Does she have a seatbelt on?
Not at this time, no.
Resuming play at 30 seconds. This is where the audio picks up. Okay. You turn the volume up a touch. Were you able to hear yourself? Your voice?
Yes.
Okay. So Sergeant, this in fact is your body cam from June 3rd, 2024.
Yes.
You press play at 35 seconds.
1 second. Hey, I need you to stay. Can you stay for an hour?
Who are you talking to, Sergeant, when you say?
At that point in time, I believe from that image would be our corrections officer. He was scheduled to be off at that given time. I requested him to stay due to the circumstance.
All right. Resuming play at 45 seconds.
Hey, Colton's Adventurous. I'm going to head over to the video.
Hold off. Stand face the wall, please.
Pausing at 1 minute, 20 seconds. Sergeant, this gentleman on the screen here, who is that person?
That would be our correction officer, Kevin Curtis.
And that's the person you talked to in the parking lot?
Correct.
Okay. Resuming play at 1:20.
Head back out there just so I can sit you in.
Well, hopefully, no,
So you get somebody on the side of the
Okay. Daniel can observe. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's just put a meter on there. Nope, we're doing this way, okay?
Now, Sergeant, what is this room that we're seeing on the screen at 146?
This is what we call like our booking, we call a booking cage processing room, where we typically bring people into the garage door and they'd be coming through this secure facility. At this point in time, she came into this side door given the circumstances. We were trying to get her in quickly.
Okay. And is this where paperwork might be filled out that corresponds with the inmate?
Yes.
Okay. And are you part of that process?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you remain then while the defendant is remains in this particular room?
So this room is on camera as well. So we have video of this room to see. At this given time, I believe she's placed into the booking cage. At that point in time, I speak to the other officers and correctional officer at this time.
All right. Resuming play at 146.
Hey, I need you a favor from you. First, this guy was at this. Can you just come down here and observe? That's all I need to do.
Sergeant, who are you talking to on the radio there or on the phone?
I believe that would be Officer Shook,
Okay. Is that officer male or female?
female.
Okay. Was there a reason that you wanted, or did you want specifically a female officer to become involved at any point?
When practical, with a female, I would like to have a female and female, yes.
Resuming at 210.
Yeah, someone actually felt them can pat her down on the issue perfect. We pat her down once already, but with the female officer do her in depth and have her come down. And if you could just sit here and observe, that would be wonderful until I get people cleared up. Thank you. Bye. Yeah.
Okay. So Sergeant, we watched that clip of your body cam. Obviously, we can all see the defendant depicted on the screen, right?
Correct.
But you were there in person. Did you have the occasion to observe Bionca Ellis during this time frame that we've just discussed?
Yes.
And what were your observations of her behavior?
Prior to entering the jail facility, again, she was given commands to turn and face the wall so I could secure my weapon, which she did. She was placed into the booking cage without incident. At that point in time, I walk out of the jail from here to speak to, I believe, the corrections officer, Officer Shook, and Officer Felton to get a game plan as how we were going to collect further evidence and change her out.
Okay, so for that part of the process, for a female defendant, you want to have a female officer help you?
Yeah, when practical, absolutely.
All right, and Officer Felton, is that a female officer?
Correct.
Okay. And did you ask her then to help you with the next step of the process?
I did.
All right. And I want to get back to the booking sheet, the booking process. Okay. Are you familiar with the protocol and process that North Olmsted Police Department utilizes to keep records of inmates?
I am.
Okay. And what type of information is typically on booking sheets at North Olmsted Police?
From their general information, including their name, date of birth, social security, last known address, at times emergency contacts if they provide one, medical, property that they may or may not come in with.
Okay. And had you personally, prior to June 3rd, dealt with or encountered this defendant?
No.
Okay. But as a custodian and member of the law enforcement agency of North Olmsted, you would have access to all booking information for any inmate that comes through the doors. Is that accurate?
That is accurate.
Okay. So what I'd like to do now is talk about State's Exhibit 226. Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Sergeant, I'm going to place before you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 226 and 227. I want to ask you just to take a quick look at those. Let me know if you recognize what I placed before you.
Are you familiar with those?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. For the record, what's 226 for me that you recognize?
226 would be Bionca Ellis's arrest on, looks like 6/3/2024, the day of the incident.
And then on 227?
Would also be an arrest for Bionca Ellis on 5/29/2024.
Thank you. You may inquire.
Thank you.
You're
So,
welcome.
Sergeant, we're actually going to start talking about 227 briefly. Put up on the screen too, for you to see. Is there a booking number associated with this document?
There is.
Okay, and where is that located?
Towards the upper right corner, a little bit lower, not the incident number.
And what is that number associated with this document?
The incident number would be typically the report number that is assigned.
Oh, you're talking about the incident number?
Correct.
Yeah, it sounded like you were asking him to define that, but you really wanted the booking number?
What is the main number that identifies this document?
So the incident number would go with the report.
With
The
the-
booking number keeps track of the arrest in our jail system.
All right. Well, for our purposes, let's talk about what is the incident number associated with State's Exhibit 227?
The incident number, based on what this arrest screen says, is probation violation, and then there looks like there is an additional charge for non-payment.
Okay. Upper right-hand corner incident number, what is that number?
That would be, like I said, the report number,
Okay, can you read the number for us?
24-22059.
All right. And is there a date anywhere on this document?
If you go to the front cover sheet that you're on, you go all the way to the left,
Okay.
you can scroll over to the left, it will say date and time.
All right. And is that date and time reflective of when the inmate or defendant is encountered or when they're brought to the station?
I believe it should be when they are brought into the North Olmsted Police Department jail.
Okay. What is the date then on this document?
That would be 5/29/2024.
All right. And you personally were not involved with dealing with the defendant on that particular day?
That is correct.
All right. What other types of information is included in the booking sheets at North Olmsted?
On the front cover is general information where she was arrested, where the incident occurred. That 24801 Brook Park Road is where the incident occurred, which in the city of North Olmsted, that would be Walmart. And then the charges that she's being charged with in our facility.
How about on page 2 of that document? What is important there?
Page 2 is the property sheet, what she comes into the NOP jail with. And then when they signed to leave, they sign for their property again, confirming that they received their property.
What can you tell from this document what property was brought in with Ms. Ellis on May 29, 2024?
Yeah, so he doesn't have knowledge of it, and he's just reading the document, he doesn't have firsthand of it. So I'm going to sustain, and I'll let you ask another question.
Thank you, Judge.
Sure.
All right, Sergeant, I'm just going to move to the end of this document, pages, the last few pages. Do you see at the top of the screen and at the document you have, is there a mental health assessment within this document?
This sheet does the medical questions, so it says mental and physical evaluation form.
Okay.
We would ask the subject who comes into our jail facility these questions.
All right, and why is that important for your agency to do that?
Because we are responsible for their well-being, any meds they may or may not need, if they're allergic to anything, if they have health insurance, for example, if they're under the influence, it could be a variety of reasons.
Okay, so do you does somebody in your agency ask these questions of each and every inmate that comes through the police station doors?
Correct.
All right. And can you see from this booking sheet whether that was done here on May 29th with Bionca Ellis?
Based on this booking sheet, it appears that she was asked questions because there are things that are filled in.
Okay. So let's move on to June 3rd, when you do encounter her personally, right?
Yes.
Putting up State's Exhibit 226. Can you look at that document with me?
Yes.
Okay. And on this document, is there an incident number associated with this document?
Yes.
Okay, what's that number?
It'd be 24-22854.
All right. And can you tell where this incident occurred?
It says 27264 Lorraine Road in the city of North Olmsted.
And is there a timestamp associated with that?
It says 6/3/2024 at 15:04.
All right. And are you personally involved with asking this particular defendant those mental and physical health questions that we just talked about?
At this time, no.
Okay. Do you know, are you responsible for documenting this particular set of papers that are corresponding with this defendant?
I see the parties at sideline. Thanks. So I'll just make for the record, the review of the document I'm going to allow to continue while this witness may not have filled out the document. There are some procedures and policies at North Olmsted in order to fill it out. I'm going to let him speak to that. The defense stipulates to that procedure as well, so you can go right to the questions about it as opposed to the fact that I think the parties agree that they want to hear the process as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Sergeant, just a few more questions for you. I want to focus on this mental and physical evaluation form, part of the booking sheet.
Okay.
Okay? And in your training and experience in dealing with the way things that North Olmsted keeps their papers, right?
Correct.
When an inmate is asked these questions, they are self-reporting. Would you agree?
That is correct.
Okay, you're not consulting.
Again, the policy and procedure.
Okay.
That wasn't my base.
Oh,
Yes.
then I'll sustain, and you could rephrase the question or continue to ask about policy and procedure.
Okay. Is it the procedure that the inmate is the individual answering the questions depicted on this form?
That is correct.
Okay. And their answers to the questions given are in this document?
That is correct.
Accurate? And can you tell from this document on June 3rd, are there various answers to the questions asked of Bionca Ellis?
Based on this document, there is what appears to be all no's as answers.
What about number one?
Besides number one, as far as is the inmate conscious, which at that point in time, we would answer, not the defendant.
I see. And so would a series of no's be reflective of an inmate that is not speaking?
Objection.
Yeah, I'll sustain. So you don't answer that?
Okay, one moment.
Sure.
Sergeant, I appreciate you answering my questions this afternoon, or this morning. I have no further questions at this time.
Thank you. And then we'll have cross-examination of this witness.
Sergeant, it's fair to say you didn't complete either of these forms, correct?
On the incident number 24-22854,
How about, rather than that, give me 226 or 227?
the state's exhibit for 226, when I had Corrections Officer Kevin Curtis there still, either him or myself would at least have done the cover page, which shows that they're in our custody.
So when we got to the questionnaire part, were you present or did you ask any questions with respect to that section?
No.
So you have no idea if the questions were reception or an answer or what, correct?
I never answered these questions. I asked her these questions, I should say.
On either one, correct?
Correct.
And you've pulled up Exhibit 226 for the record?
Yes, Your Honor. I think they're labeled wrong.
And 227 is of the May date?
Double check. 27 is
That's the arrest date of May 29th.
6-3. So this is the document that you filled out, correct?
Which document is that?
That State's Exhibit 226, incident number ending in 854, date of incident is 6/3/2024.
The cover sheet, which would be the first page of this document, would have been filled out by me to show that Bionca Ellis was in our custody in our jail facility.
Moving on to the second page with a questionnaire. Is the inmate conscious? Who answered that question?
That is the third page. She was not asked these questions by me at this time.
Who was there? Do you know?
When she was brought into our custody, she was moved directly eventually to a cell. So she didn't get a chance to get these questions answered. The corrections officer, I would assume, would have asked these questions.
So when it comes to question number 3, who would have answered that question?
Whoever went through the medical questions with her.
Can you read it out loud, number 3?
Is the inmate's conduct, appearance, and mental health status normal?
What was the answer to that?
It says no.
When you look at question number 9, read that one out.
Does the inmate appear to be under the influence of alcohol or drugs?
What was the answer?
No.
Can you go to question number 12?
Does the inmate's behavior suggest risk of assault to staff or other inmates?
What was the answer?
No.
Can you go to 17?
Have you recently been hospitalized or recently seen a medical doctor for any mental health condition or illness?
What was the answer to that one?
No.
Now I'm going to go back to State's Exhibit 227. Those same questions were asked and answered, correct? During the booking process?
Would that be page 3 of 227 if you want to?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. And your question of this witness?
If you go to question number 17, can you read that one out loud?
Question 17 is what you said.
Yes.
Have you recently been hospitalized or recently seen a medical or psychiatric doctor for any mental health condition or illness?
And what was the answer to that question?
Condition, couple days ago, swell feet. Yes.
Yes. Can you go back to number 3?
What would you like him to do with number 3?
Read number 3, please.
Is the inmate's conduct, appearance, and mental health?
What was the answer?
No.
So, based on the nature of this question, this seems like an observation as opposed to a question for an inmate. Is that fair to say?
No.
No?
Some, as far as like number 1, where it says, is the inmate conscious? I would fill that in.
So when you go up, when you look at number 3, is the inmate's conduct, appearance, or mental health status normal? Is that something you ask an inmate, or is it something you observe?
That is correct.
It's something you observe, correct?
Correct.
So that's something someone in your police department will know, correct?
Correct.
And when you go to state exhibit number 226, number 3, same question was answered. That's an observation. Is that fair to say, Sergeant?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any redirect of this witness on those questions? Sure.
Sergeant, fair to say that this evaluation form is part observation by the officers, part questions for the inmate to answer?
That is correct.
Okay. And you were asked about number 17 in Exhibit 227. Do you recall that?
Correct, yep.
In State's Exhibit
He has 227.
227, you were asked about question 17 on that document,
Yes.
and the answer was swollen or swelled feet.
That's correct.
See that noted there? Would that information have come from the inmate on that day?
Yes.
Okay. So that is a question, not an observation. Is that accurate, that item 17?
Correct.
Okay. And you talked about, you were asked about number 3 on State's Exhibit 227.
Yes.
Is the inmate's conduct, appearance, and mental health status normal? No. Would that have, you were not associated with that arrest, correct?
That is correct.
And that is an entirely distinct day from June 3rd, correct? May 29th?
Could you repeat it again?
May
Sorry.
29th, the incident from May 29th associated with this document is a distinct day from June 3rd. Different day.
Yes.
Okay. And you were not involved with encountering Bionca Ellis on May 29th, right?
That's correct.
And on June 3rd, when the question asks, is the inmate's conduct, appearance, and mental health status normal? The answer again is no. And that would have been an observation of her made by law enforcement at your station. Is that right? That's not a question that she would answer. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And then one final thing. The first question, is the inmate conscious? What does conscious mean to you as a law enforcement officer? What are you looking for when you're answering number 1?
Alert, speaking, breathing, along those lines.
They don't have to be doing all those things. Is that fair to say?
That's correct.
Could they be sleeping and be conscious for the purposes of this form? If they're breathing?
I think you'd be breathing while sleeping.
All right. I have nothing further. Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, thank you. You may step down. Thank you.